Hello all! So today's venture is pretty chill. We're going to a family reunion in Kansas, and so we're kind of making it a bit of a road trip. Tonight's dinner is at Norton's Brewing Company, and I just ordered a brown ale that's called There Was Only Zool. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, I hope you get the reference. If you're not, go watch the original one because it's great. But yeah, so we're gonna see some stuff here in Kansas and hopefully eat some good food. So let's go. Alright, this is the Chop House burger and fries, and the fries and the garlic aioli sauce are already fantastic, so I bet this is gonna be great. Okay, so Wichita has this really cool statue called the Keeper of the Plains, and he stands at the convergence of, I believe, the Arkansas and the Little Arkansas River. Anyway, and at 9 o'clock, so here in a few minutes, there's going to be fire down there. So hopefully we get to see it lit up. So I really hope the dude playing music in the background doesn't get me like flagged on this video. But there's this really neat area behind the statue that talks about Native Plains people. So if you're in Wichita, it's definitely worth a stop. Sorry I had to pause. I was really trying to get away from the sound. But yeah, the informational area. And then there's the statue. We're gonna see if we can see some fire. I'm really excited. This is awesome! Oh, and look at all the ducks, or geese. Oh, the goslings are so cute! So apparently this video is going to have a lot of food in it because today for breakfast we drove from Wichita to Yoder, which is not even a true city. It is a census designated area. But we're here for Carriage Crossing, which is a restaurant, bakery. The cinnamon rolls are the size of my face. And that's when we came here the first time. This is our second time here. But the first time I opted for pie over cinnamon rolls, despite the fact that they are delicious. I did have some. I have a bite at least. My hair is chaos this morning. Yeah, but yeah, let's go have some really good sugar of whatever type we have. See, I'm not lying about the cinnamon roll being the size of your face. And it's warmed up and served with butter. So there's already icing on it, and then you get an extra layer of butter. Honey, you ready for this? This thing looks amazing. The best thing about being an adult is the fact that I can order pie for breakfast. And there's bacon, but this is blackberry pie. Doesn't this look amazing? Again, this restaurant is called Carriage Crossing, and it is way out in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and freaking delicious. So we don't have time to stop here today, but if you're in Hutchinson, Kansas, there is the Cosmosphere, which is the premier spacecraft restoration facility in the world. We have been before. This is a I can't remember the name of the rocket. Anyway, they launched Mercury ships. There's also there's some really cool stuff in here. Behind, and I'm trying to get over there so you guys can see, is redstone. That's a redstone. Over here, the top of this rocket you can see is a Titan 2, I think, and it launched Gemini. Yeah, like there's a blackbird inside here. The big they fly at supersonic speeds, really high altitude. It's actually, this part of the building is actually built around the Blackbird. There's the Liberty Bell 7 that sank. I think it was a Mercury mission. The Apollo 13 capsule was restored here. Like, the Cosmosphere is really cool. And it is on the Hutchinson Community College campus. But yeah, again, premier spacecraft. Point being, I can't speak this morning. Spacecraft restoration facility in the world. Like, if you have questions and you're writing something, this is where you come. This is who you call to answer questions. Like, even the Smithsonian will redirect people here. We have been in the past. You can kind of see the Blackbird through the window. Or no, that's a different plane. That's a different plane. The Blackbird's farther up, but you can see through. Anyway, really cool museum. They have a planetarium. They have like a little science lab. I think they have something else too. I can't remember what, but yeah. I will post the link to my thing that I've done about the Cosmosphere in the description. But yeah, definitely come check this place out if you're a space nerd. Yeah, if I had time today, I would definitely stop here, or I would stop at the next place I'm going to show you guys. There's a lot of actually really cool stuff in Kansas, but none of it's really close. Well, City might be the exception, because we went to Yoder, we came here to Hutchinson, to the Cosmosphere. But yeah, there's lots of neat stuff in Kansas. You just kind of have to know where to look. All right, this is our second location here in Hutchinson, and I do not have time to go to the Salt Museum today, and I am very disappointed because it's like a 3-hour tour, the one that I want to do, and I just don't have the time, and I'm so sad. But yeah, this is a actual salt mine that you can get to go down into, and it's like $35 for adults. There's a variety of tours. Like I said, the one I want to do is about 3 hours. It's called the Lantern Tour. Oops! It has a lot of history in it. We don't have 3 hours today. We have plans with family later. But it is something that's really cool here. Like, there's an actual salt mine below our feet. And there's some stuff about salt. And I think there's some stuff in this museum as well about the Cambrian period, at least from what I saw on their website. But I forgot this was here until we drove past, and really, really want to go explore a salt mine now. Particularly this one, because I know it exists. They've got some old equipment out here. Let's see, what else? The old number 2 engine, switch engine, built by GE in 1919. Oh yeah, you can see the GE symbol. It's still the same. Huh. And then over here, we have a bucket. A bucket. Okay. I'm not sure how it works, because again, new to learning about salt mining. You're also right here off whatever highway this is, and so it's loud. Huh. Some information about the bucket. Oh my gosh, look at the capacity. That's insane. Interesting. I bet the one always up and down, is probably for balance. Although an empty bucket would probably weigh a whole lot less than a full bucket, clearly. 4 tons. Ah! That's insane. So yeah, definitely want to come back and visit this museum when we have time, and I will do a video about it. Hopefully, we'll see what the lighting is like down there. But no, this is cool. So, definitely a bucket list item. So if you do visit the salt mine. There's like a tiny museum where you can look at rocks and some other like memorabilia from various salt companies. But this is my favorite thing because I have so many questions. Different types. And look at this. This is my second favorite thing. It's a wooden pipe. Okay, our Kansas road trip has dipped into Kansas City, Missouri. We are here for a Royals game tomorrow. Fingers crossed that they play better than they have recently. Anyway, but I'm a native Texan, so I love my Texas barbecue. So while here, I decided, and Kelton agreed with me, to let me try some Kansas City barbecue. So we're trying Gates barbecue. Let's see how it is. Okay, since I'm not starving, I went with the burn-in mac and cheese, and I've got a side of the sweet and mild sauce. So let's taste test. All right. Oh my gosh. It's good. I don't know if it's that different than Texas barbecue, but let's start with the sauce. Try not to make a mess. The sauce is definitely different, but it's really good. I'm definitely going to enjoy this, so let me know your thoughts on Kansas City barbecue, and I'm sorry about the weird reflection in the comments. You guys just have to know that for whatever reason, Kansas City has kind of broken me a little bit in like the weirdest way. Because one, while the burnt-end mac and cheese or whatever it was excellent, but the bottom third of that bowl was absolutely swimming in grease. Like it just couldn't. But I also had this realization that Big Red is just a red cream soda, and that's only relevant in the fact that I used to drink it as a kid, and I ordered red cream soda because it was an option on the fountain drinks, and I was like, holy crap, this is just Big Red, but under a different name, or similar, or whatever. Anyway, for whatever reason, it broke me tonight, and I don't know why, and so you guys get to hear about it as part of the Kansas/Missouri road trip. Weird things happen on road trips, apparently. And this is mine. Okay, so if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I end up at lots of Santa Fe Trail locations. Part of that is because there's a lot of them in Kansas, where this one's from. So there's just a bunch to see, and it's become a thing. Anyway, since we're visiting, we're staying here for a Royals game, it's Kansas City, Missouri is really close to Independence, Missouri, which is the starting point of the Santa Fe Trail, the Oregon Trail, and I think the California Trail. Kelton says I'm right. So we are here at the square in Independence to just see the trail markers. All the museums and such I wanted to visit are closed because it's a Sunday. That it happens, and it's a holiday weekend, so it is what it is. We're going to see the locations that we can, which apparently are just trail markers. So, but first, coffee. Let's go get some coffee. This coffee elsewhere shop is a vibe. I just want it noted that on Labor Day weekend, it is very, very quiet down here. Apparently it was really busy yesterday. They had a farmer's market, and there was some sort of other event going on we heard about at the coffee shop. But yeah, currently, very quiet. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for here in Independence in relation to the Santa Fe Trail. I've got this idea in my head to do a video essay, but I'm not 100% sure what my question is yet that I'm looking to answer. I do know I want to find a whole bunch of first-person accounts of the Santa Fe Trail, and I do have some. I just need to read through them and figure out what I'm looking for. I'll figure it out eventually. I do want to note that the Santa Fe Trail was more for commerce versus the Oregon and California trails, which are more for like moving to Oregon and California. They were more for manifest destiny, whereas this one was for making money. Just as a fun fact. So not the Santa Fe Trail, but there is this marker here for the Oregon Trail, which I have not to nearly as many locations as for the Oregon Trail. Also, apparently this courthouse was, they got it, Harry S. Truman, after his presidency, got it built. So there's a lot of stuff about Harry Truman here in the town square of Independence. Hey, there's a trail marker. Let me go see what else I can find. Okay, so this statue is of Andrew Jackson. And it was put here by Truman. And I have a lot of feelings on it, and I wasn't a fan of it at first. However, they also have this that talks about the fact that we cannot ignore the history. We cannot ignore what has happened. We have to acknowledge it to fix anything. And I love this because I think that's right. We cannot ignore our history. We have to acknowledge it, and this acknowledges that Jackson was a problem. Just gonna leave it at that. Found the Santa Fe Trail marker. Yay! Again, besides just telling me that the Santa Fe Trail started here, I don't have a whole lot of other information, but at least it's cool. I'll take that. This is not related to history for a moment, but look at this protected bike lane. So you've got the protected bike lane, you've got the bollards, you've got parking, and there's room to open the door of the vehicles without getting into the bike lane. Like, this is some awesome infrastructure that I did not expect to see, and more cities need stuff like this. And you've got a protected sidewalk next to the bike lane. So you've got your pedestrians, your bikes, protection, and then your vehicles. Like, this is fantastic. So good on you, Missouri. This though needs to be updated, Independence. It's apparently about the first Battle of Independence, and I can read a few words here and there, but not much. We need to update this, at least for readability. This is at the south entrance of the Missouri courthouse, or not the Independence courthouse, sorry, in Missouri. And it's just a nice shout out to history. And look how old it is, it's from 33. Yeah, south entrance. Anyway, if you're coming to Independence, don't come on a Sunday off before a holiday weekend. Nothing is open, which is fine. But it's kind of sad. I can't support the local bookstore that's over there. You can't see it. It's behind the Love Square thing. But anyway, time to go see other things. And see what this side is. Members of Jackson County Court during the building's construction. All right. And I think this is just Historic Truman Courthouse sign. Huh. See, I would have liked to have gone in, but oh well. Some Jackson County pioneers. So as my husband also pointed out, there's a road here, but they close it off a little bit, which makes cars go slower and then gives the pedestrians a shorter...
And benches, people to rest, tables, people to hang out, the expectation of buying anything.
It's a shorter distance for pedestrians to walk, which makes it safer. But yeah, so good on you, Independence. Okay, we're at Wayne City Landing. It's a staging point, essentially, for the trails. I'm gonna read the signs and find out. So this sign is primarily just an overview of the different routes, but I do like this map. because the California and Oregon trails run together for a long time before they split. And then the Santa Fe trail's down here. And I've been to a lot of these locations. I've been to Pawnee Rock, I've been to Fort Larned, I've been to Vents Fort. I have been to Santa Fe, but it's been a hot minute. And somewhere in here is Wagon Bed Springs, and I've been to it as well. And obviously we're here in Independence and Kansas City currently. So something to remember is that the trails really were only used until about the late 1870s and 80s, when the railroad finally was established or went far enough for people to use it. But that even before that, the influx of settlers meant a downfall in the native Indian way of life. So we love our westward expansion, but we forget sometimes that there were already people there, and they lost their way of life, and honestly their actions and are completely understandable. All right, Independence, this is another sign that needs to be fixed, because while I know it's talking about trade between the US and Mexico along the Santa Fe Trail, it is not really possible to read beyond a tiny bit over here. So let's get this sorted. So this talks about cargo being unloaded here at the Upper Independence Landing to then be sent down the Santa Fe Trail. You can kind of see the river down there, kind of through the trees. There's a little bit of sparkle, but it's really hard to see. This landing is really overgrown. It was later, this section, once it was stopped being in use, was later used for farming. But now it's just kind of a little bit of state of disrepair. All right, we are switching from history to baseball. We're going to Kauffman Stadium to watch a Royals game. I think they're playing the Mariners today.
Mariners.
Did they play the Mariners earlier this week?
Yes.
Did they lose against the Mariners earlier this week?
They won one, lost one.
So we'll see. We're 1-1. So just fingers crossed that even if they lose, hopefully at least it's a good game. Here in the foreground we have Kauffman Stadium, and then in the background is Arrowhead, where the Chiefs play. We don't talk about their last season. The seasons before that, oh fine. No, we don't talk about last season. And yeah, Kauffman's nice and blue, Arrowhead's all red, and this is the Truman Sports Complex. This is awesome. More teams should do this, and if I lived closer, I definitely would. So of course, I had to try a local brew, and this tastes like alcoholic childhood. It's like a raspberry flavor. It's normally I drink beer at a game, but the seltzer is too fun to pass up. Fun fact, food and drink are not allowed in the Hall of Fame. So I sent Kelton in because there's alumni autographs on Sunday games, so don't want him to miss out on anything, and I have no idea who they are. So I'm gonna stay out here with my drink and send him in to be a baseball nerd, which is absolutely adorable. Okay, so mascots are always weird, but for the Royals, their lion, his crown is part of his head, and that is just so wrong on so many levels. I mean, just look at that. Don't get me wrong, he's a cool mascot, not the weirdest one. Like, if you're a hockey fan, Gritty's eyes move, but yeah, the crown is part of the head, and I'm not sure I like it. The Royals may have lost slightly, but that does not mean that their fan base does not still support them. It is so much energy here today, and I am here for it. Look at these great seats Kelton picked out.
Let's go!
Take me out to the crowd, buy me some beers and crackers. The Royals won 8-6, and there should not have been as many pitches in that last inning as there were. But yeah, fantastic game. It is very hot. I'm pretty sure I have a sunburn, but definitely worth it for the win. And honestly, I've never felt this kind of energy at a Rangers game. I've been to several with Kelton, but this energy is definitely the best. So we decided to come down to the Power and Light District for dinner and just explore, and this is the most chaos we've seen in the whole state. It's the most chaos we've seen in days. Like, yeah, there were a lot of people at game, but it wasn't this chaotic. That being said, check out this building. The architecture is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, just look at this architecture. It's so pretty.
We hurry.
So the area is named for this building, this Power and Light building, and it's pretty. Definitely some Art Deco, Art Deco vibes. The Art Nouveau is more of the smooth lines. I once read that to remember the difference in Art Deco and Art Nouveau is like elvish design, and Art Deco is dwarven. Both beautiful, but very different. All right, so Power and Light is busy. I'm glad we parked in the parking garage right off the highway so we can get out of here. It was good, but yeah, really popular area, and I guess there's a show tonight at the theater that I showed you guys. And yeah, everything's
Even
just
more popular.
really
Sure.
busy. Like a lot of big groups, and I don't know if that's normal or not for the area. So we're headed home, and it is a long drive, so we're not really stopping too much, but there is one thing way out here in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, that I wanted to see before we head home, and that is Big Brutus. And he's a giant piece of mining equipment, and I don't actually know what he does yet, but we're gonna find out. But you can see him from a long ways off. All right, so this is the Big Brutus Museum and RV Park. That was a little bit of a surprise. You can actually go into Big Brutus, and I'm so excited. Don't have a good view at the moment, but you can kind of see him through the trees. So, this should be fun. And it's a weird little side quest here in Kansas. Because we are back in Kansas, we are no longer in Missouri. And this is Big Brutus. It is relatively used in coal mining, but not to actually dig coal, but to remove what's called overburden, according to the documentation on the self-guided tour, and you can actually go inside. So yeah, this is interesting. You also need a picture next to it just to see scale. I'm here for scale. Okay, we're gonna use Kelton for scale for test next to the crawlers. I want you guys to note I am moving backwards while he is getting closer, and oh my gosh, he's so tiny. All right, time for. So, in our society, there's a lot of large equipment. Cars are large, but this, like, I'm on my tiptoes to touch this. Like, that's insane, absolutely insane. This thing is absolutely massive, and I don't have a good way to demonstrate scale. So yeah, let's go crawl inside. So I'm currently standing inside the bucket. And yes, there's a platform, so you can get into the bucket. I feel so small. Like, this is like some nightmare level stuff. I do want to note that the view from inside the bucket of Big Brutus would be like perfect for a little house. Like, look how cute that little lake is. God, the lighting is awful from this angle. Okay, if you've ever explored like a ship, I feel like this gives ship vibes. Like, look how tight this is. Like, tight stairs, signs to watch your head. It's just It's short versus, that's might be museum related, but yeah. Hey honey, what do you think?
Big.
I'm not going to record too much in here because honestly it's really cool and you guys should just come see it, but this holds 800 feet of wire and each wire weighs 25 pounds per foot. Like, that is insane. Just absolutely insane. And it's the main hoist. But yeah, that's just wild. Oh my gosh, this room is hot. This is the view from the operator's chair. It took 3 men to run this. One man's job was just to make sure that there was sufficient oil and grease on the parts to keep things moving. And those crawlers on the ground, the things that moved it, could only move at 0.22 miles per hour. Like, this thing is just insane. And just a few buttons and pedals to move this massive thing. This is, it's so big. So big. But it has a nice view now. From here you can see the whole museum grounds, and you can even see where you can park if you have an RV. So that's an option. There's like a little shared like table area. And there's some more museum artifacts over here that we need to check out. According to the information inside this shovel, this was made and designed by a dude who picked up all the parts, or at least most of the parts, from freaking junkyards. Like, that's some innovation right there. That is some innovation. Wouldn't want to write in it, but good on him. So my thoughts on coal mining, just mining in general, is that it's going to happen whether we like it or not. Do I think it's great? Is it good for the environment? Does it definitely have a lot of problems? Yes. But pretending that it didn't happen, that it's not part of our history, it doesn't work. We have to acknowledge the bad treatment of workers, the how many they died. There's a reason the canary in a coal mine is a saying. And stuff like this is part of our history. It's fascinating. It shows the danger. It also shows the ingenuity. Like, that, just 3 people could run Big Brutus. And that one that was built by some dude out of like garbage, or not garbage, but like metal scraps essentially. Like, great for the environment? No. Innovative? Yes. So you can provide your thoughts on mining in general, but this is finally the second mine on this this vlog. The salt one earlier, and now the history of coal mining with Big Brutus. So Big Brutus moving at 0.22 miles per hour at its max speed obviously doesn't move very fast, which means the museum is here because this is where Brutus stopped. So that pretty view that I was enjoying with the water and the trees, that was the mine. That was what Brutus dug out over the course of 11 years and then quit in the 70s. So it's kind of this weird idea that nature can recover, but it takes time. Like, they stopped using Brutus here. The coal ran out here in the 70s. So it's taken what? 80s, 90s, 2000, like 50 years to recover. I have mixed feelings. Tell me y'all's feelings in the comments. So luckily I'm in a jungle right now. That is the elderberry bush that I made the mistake of planting. I have a ton of elderberries. If you ever want to plant one, put it in a pot. They go insane. Anyway, our Kansas road trip was a lot of fun. I know part of it was in Missouri. So there was a lot of history. History road trip was a lot of fun. The it's very cute. The Royals game was a great time. If you ever in Kansas City, go to a Royals game. The energy, totally worth it. Big Brutus was fun. I swear, there's a lot of really cool stuff in Kansas, but it's mostly underground or relates to being underground. Like, I want to go to the salt mine, which you guys saw. And then there's space. So Kansas either just goes down or all the way up. There's not an in between. It was a fantastic road trip. It was an 8-hour drive home. That was exhausting. I was so ready to be home. but it was a really good time. So if you guys liked this adventure and you want to see more, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Any interaction does well on the algorithm. So I will see you guys on the next adventure.